Hello you lot. So I haven't done an update for a while and I thought it's a good time to get one in and just touch base with you all and tell you how I'm doing in my little world and just speak to you guys. So just a recap, I did my last competition in October. I've been doing 4 years of competing and I decided that October was going to be my last show. I wanted to and am still trying to focus very much on my health, my personal growth, my business, my spending quality time with friends and family. There was so much more that I wanted to focus on, and when you compete you are consumed with that and it leaves very little time for anything else. So it was time for me to step away and have a bigger focus. I've always been, from a very young age, been focused on how I look, and as a dancer it was something that we needed to be conscious of, and then obviously going into bodybuilding, all you're marked on is how you look. So I really wanted to step away from that obsessive nature of caring how I look and putting my energy into focusing actually on my health and my mental health as well as my physical health. And as silly as it sounds, just things like what I've started to do is I always used to put stevia in my oats to sweeten them up. And then I was thinking, this is life season now. We're not doing sugar-free sweeteners like every day. Get some raspberries in your girl. Sweeten it up with some fruit. And I don't normally have fruit, or never do when I'm on prep, because obviously it's high in sugar and it's not very filling. So it was never really an option. But now I'm like, but you're not dieting for anything. You're focusing on your health. Raspberries are much more nutritional than stevia. So little things like that, which sounds so trivial, but they make me feel good because I feel like I'm working towards getting better with focusing on how is it going to help me internally rather than how is it going to make me look externally. So I mean, I've been doing this live season now for about 8 months. It's gone so quick. To say it has been smooth will be a lie. I'm always honest with you guys, and I'll tell you every time something is hard for me, and there definitely has been some hard times. And like I said, I think I do have an obsessive personality. I'm very competitive with myself, and I want to do everything the best. And if you give me a prep for 20 weeks, I'll do it the best. So I'll do all my cardio and then I'll do all my training and I won't even sniff a cupcake. But then if you say to me, here, have some ice cream, I'll be the best at it and I'll eat 5 tubs of ice cream. So I was really lacking that balance and just feeling like I'm on an even kilt with everything. So that has been the hardest challenge, to kind of go out for dinner but not go home and eat a load of food afterwards, and to do a bit of cardio but then stop because I only planned 20 minutes. So yeah, it has been a challenge, but it's something that I feel like I am getting better with every week that's passing. I did have a big wobble about 9 weeks ago, and it was a very dark week for me. I was really suffering. I was binging every day. Mentally I was in a very dark place, and it was a hard week. And to be honest, I mean, I always try and find positives in shit situations, and when I came out of that week I just said to myself, look, that used to be your life and it isn't anymore. So this just reaffirms that you aren't who you used to be anymore. And the fact that you feel so bad now is so much motivation to not let that happen to you again. you know, I really kind of gave myself a talking to, and I gave myself a kick up the arse. And since then, I mean, it's been about 8 weeks and I have stuck to my plans. I haven't overeaten anything. If I've had 5 grams extra peanut butter, I haven't had a panic attack about it. I am enjoying doing cardio because I feel like I want to do it, not because I feel like I have to do it. And it's been very, very hard, but the last 8 weeks I really feel like I've been getting somewhere. And like I said, I just put it down to that really crappy week where it just made me realise, actually, you have come a long way and you're not that person anymore. So don't think you are. And I think that's it, isn't it? We're very quick to, you know, as soon as we have a dark day, we're very quick to go, oh, well, it's all shit. But we forget that we've just had 4 weeks where we were amazing. And we don't praise ourselves enough for that. We don't give ourselves enough credit. And the problem is with that negative behaviour and that, you know, that we spend so much time on focusing on a negative day that we actually then sabotage ourselves going forward. And, you know, again, like I said, this is everything that I'm learning. I'm trying to learn personal growth and how my mind and my body works, as well as eating healthily and trying to maintain a good look for myself. So that's been interesting. The one thing that I think has really helped me, and I've touched on this before, I think, with you guys, getting to know my cycle has been massively changed. Like it's changed a lot of things for me. I'm one of those people that really suffer with side effects to time of the month. And you know, if I'm due on, I tend to get like a premenstrual migraine. My anxiety is increased, so sometimes I'll go to bed and my heart, I just get really bad palpitations. My mood definitely gets lower. I feel upset, you know, if I look out the window and I see that there's a bird sitting on its own, I feel teary because it's sitting on its own. So I noticed that there is a definite change in my chemistry when I'm at certain points in my cycle. And honestly, actually being aware of that has helped massively, because it's allowed me to prepare for those feelings, and it's allowed me to kind of give a logic answer to why I feel like that. And because of that, I don't feel the need to go off plan, because in a way that's already planned. You know, and I speak to a lot of my girls about this. You know, when my girls check in, I know straight away when they're due on, because, you know, they put on a couple of pounds, when they do their check-in, the language that they use is a lot more negative than usual. You know, they're a little bit more harder on themselves, and it happens to us all, you know, and us as women, we just need to take responsibility of looking after ourselves in that way. And, you know, you can't just go, oh, do you know, sod it, it was my period, so I ate 5 dairy milk bars. You know, be a little bit more responsible and in charge of the situation. Don't just think, oh, well, it's my period, so I've got no control. We do have control. It's just about finding what works for us. So, you know, for some people who are chocolate monsters when they're due on, I say, right, make sure you've got some milk in the fridge and a couple of squares of dark chocolate, and have that. And 9 times out of 10, that's satisfying enough that they don't feel that they then need to have anything else. So in terms of them sticking on their plan, it's so much more beneficial for them just to have milk and a bit of dark chocolate than to go mad and have something off plan, and then mentally you think, oh, I've gone off plan, so I've ruined myself. And like I said, just knowing as well in terms of like where your energy should be, you know, in terms of training, where you're going to feel your strongest, where you're going to go in the gym and actually feel your weakest. And if you can say, oh, I know why, because my period is due, then you have an answer. Then there's a logical answer. Whereas if you go in and you feel weak and you don't have an answer, you're going to feel really negative about that experience. And then you're going to have the rest of the day where you feel really fed up and down about it. So taking charge and being responsible of your hormones and where you are in your cycle has been a massive thing for me, and it's something I'm really trying to get my clients to do as well. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you. I did a post about migraines actually, and loads of you commented, and it was really good to speak to some of you. I'm very aware how lucky I am that I don't get them really that bad at all compared to some of you guys, and I'm sorry that you do have to suffer with them. Mine is just a purely, you know, it has to be based on hormones. I think when I get higher estrogen levels, I think it's just something that is a result of that. My anxiety has been a little bit bad as well, so I have started to take the CBD oil, and CBD oil basically is from cannabis, but it's the non basically there's two forms, there's CBD and there's THC, and THC is what gives you the high, and the CBD is what gives you the benefits of helping you in terms of anxiety, depression, chronic illnesses. And people have been going mad and saying that it's a really good supplement and that they're really noticing changes. So I ordered some and I started taking it about 5 days ago, and I'm taking it primarily for my anxiety. So I kind of, it's hard to tell because it has only been a few days, but sometimes I think, oh, I feel a bit better now. But then other times I've taken it and I don't. So I think I just need to continue with that and just, you know, give it a little bit longer. So I will keep you guys posted as to how I'm getting on with that. Something as well, so I mentioned on a comment on that post that there was this guy who has got these supplements that are really good for hormone balancing, and the guy actually messaged me and said, look, I'll send you some of my supplements out to try. So it's Morphogen Nutrition. I don't know if that's gonna focus. No, I'll put the details below. But basically it may assist with excess cortisol, which basically is the stress hormone, which we all hate, excess estrogen, water retention, anxiety, depression, insomnia. So, and the list goes on. So I definitely am excited to try that. I'm not going to try it just yet because I'm a bit, you know, because I've started taking CBD, I want to make sure that, you know, I know if it's one or the other as such. But that is, I'll definitely let you know how I get on with that. So yeah, that's me in general. Like I said, something that I have really been trying to work on is my personal growth, and I wanted to share this with you guys, and I don't want it to come across, I've got to word it carefully because I don't want to come across like I'm being ungrateful or rude or anything like that, but I'll just crack on with what I'm going to say. Basically, a few months ago, I noticed that my Instagram had changed and was changing, and I'd gone from, you know, ever since I've had Instagram, I've been very fortunate, and I've met some great people, and I've engaged with a lot of amazing people, and you know, I love Instagram, and I love the guys that follow me on Instagram, and you know, I can't say enough about that. But what I noticed, so like I said, ever since I've had Instagram, my following has gone up and up and up with every month. And for the first time ever, a few months ago, I noticed that my following started to go down. And straight away, that kind of, it hurt, you know? I thought, oh my God, that's never happened before. So I tried to kind of chill out about it, okay, for another week. And then I noticed that it had gone down again. I noticed that I wasn't getting as many views on my videos. I noticed that I wasn't engaging, or people wasn't engaging with me as much as normal. So it's very hard not to take that personally. So there was definitely a part of me that was worried and concerned, and I thought, God, everyone thinks I'm a boring bitch now. They don't want to follow me anymore. You know, I did kind of feel it. And I spoke to a few people, and just from myself being on Instagram and following people, I noticed that other people were saying similar things. So people that have got a very good following were actually saying, look, I don't know what's happening, but my followers are dropping, my posts aren't getting seen, my hashtags aren't being seen. So that kind of reassured me that it wasn't just me, that something was changing. I spoke to a friend who said that Instagram have changed their algorithms. Now, I don't know a lot about that sort of stuff, but from what I understand is, no, I don't even know. I'm not even going to try and to give you a load of spill because it's not right. But basically, when I did try and look it up, I was inundated with all these videos and people talking about how to work the algorithm, how to stop this from you know, your account suffering from the algorithm changing, and you know, how to get more followers, how to, yeah, all of this sort of stuff. And this is the bit that I don't want to sound rude, but I read it and I was thinking, okay, right, so I have to post at 9 AM, I have to post at 6 PM, I have to do, and you know what, I just thought, I don't want to. Like, I am so very fortunate that I have a number of people that follow me, that, or pretty much everyone that engages with me and speaks to me. I treasure all of you, and I just adore hearing your stories and how my videos of me training has helped you, or my story about overcoming anorexia has helped you, and all of that stuff. And I just treasure it, and I adore sharing that with you, and I love the fact that you find that interesting and helpful and motivating. And the problem is that when you start to think of it more as a, I'm losing following, so I need to bring my followers up, I'm reading about, oh, you must post in a different filter, and you must use this, whatever. And I'm thinking, but the problem is then, is it becomes unauthentic, it becomes forced, and actually changes the whole ethos as to why I personally have an Instagram. And it was a really nice moment for me, because I had gone from a few months ago feeling really anxious at the fact that I was losing followers, and I was getting a training video with 4,000 views, and I was thinking, oh God, you know, that's not good. And I never used to. I used to have more, so there's something wrong with me. And that is the problem. That is what social media does to you. It you know, if you've got people liking your stuff, you're doing well. If you haven't got people liking your stuff, you're not doing well. And we all know that that's complete tosh. That's not right at all. But that is just the world that we live in. So I've really done some kind of personal growth and digging deep, and there's actually been a few of you that I've spoken to, and especially after my body power post about how the industry is changing, you know, I think there's so many of you that get what I'm saying and completely understand that, you know, that it is changing. And for me, it will always be quality over quantity. And I don't care if I, you know, if someone said to me, oh, if you could get 1 million followers, but you've got to do this, that and that, you've got to sell a tummy tea, you've got to wear a waist trainer, I promise you now, I'd never do that. All I care about is that the people that are following me are real, genuine people that get value out of what I do. And if I change myself to try and continue to progress and grow in followers, I'm concerned that not only will I alienate my proper following, my hardcore people that I adore, but the people that I'll generate to actually start following me aren't the people that I want to follow me anyway. You know, I want people that are hardworking and that really graft in the gym and are just focused on their personal growth, and it feels like a lovely community, and I don't want to sacrifice that. So it feels very nice to kind of speak about that. And I know I've gone on a bit, haven't I? And I know that a lot of people will kind of go, oh, I don't know if I agree with that, but it's very, you know, I like I said, I treasure you guys, and I don't want to ever do anything to jeopardize that. And if I just have you lot, I don't need anyone else. Like, I know that sounds really cheesy, but that's how I see it, and it's really made me feel a lot calmer about things. And you know, before I was like, oh, if I post this video of me looking like when I'm training, you know, it won't get, and I'm like, I don't give a shit if it doesn't get any likes. that's going to help someone, because someone's going to go, oh yeah, you look really ugly when you're training, so I feel better now about my face when I'm training. Then job done, you know. So sorry, that was like a real rant, wasn't it? And I really didn't mean to, but it just kind of all started to come out. I hope, as always, you get some sort of value from my chattering away. And, you know, please let me know what you guys want to see in terms of like what I can bring to you and what I can talk about. I know that always you guys are interested in actually like the foods I'm eating and you know, supplements and training and how to grow your quads or how to, you know, whatever. So, you know, I will try and bring you some of that as well, rather than 20 minutes of me just badgering on about stuff. So yeah, so, you know, obviously you just let me know what you want to see from me. I hope you are all just killing it and feeling strong and happy, and yeah, you know, just keep sharing your stories with me and keep motivating me, and thank you for being such loyal supporters of me, and yeah, long may it continue.